What is up, everyone? Welcome to Sooner Surge Live. It's Friday night. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Corks? What's up, Sean? What's up, Sooner fan 8372? RSJ made himself some money today with that 4.3240. Yeah, you know, we talked last night about Jaren Kanak and what he would run. Ran a 4.53, but RSJ, what's up, Steeler man? 4.32. That is really good for him, man. And I know he was a high, like, I don't know, 4.39 or 4.4 out of like high school, but 4.32 for the position he plays, and really impressive. I mean, I don't know as far as like what that does for his draft status. I mean, a lot of it depends on what teams are looking for his safety and stuff, but man, that does not hurt. There are so many teams that look at 40 speed in the combine, and it's crazy because 4.4 is fast, 4.3 is fast. You wouldn't think a tenth of a second, whatever that is, matters a whole lot, but it does to a lot of the people that they evaluate. Yeah, I don't care what position you play. 4.3 is fast. Absolutely, Corks. So really impressive stuff from him. You had Kanak run to 4.53. I have not went back and looked to see who guessed Kanak's 4.53, if somebody guessed it right on the nose. So 4.53 for Kanak. I saw somebody put on Twitter that if he ran under a 4.6, that there was an NFL team said they wanted to talk to him. Yeah, Sooner fan, exactly. Would you? You know, you hear people talk about it like the pro day and whether or not you've heard quarterbacks, should they throw, whatever it is, should they run? If I run a 4.32 at the combine, my cleats are off. There's no more running for me, baby. 4.32, that's going in the bag, and that's all you're going to see from me in the 40. I can promise you that. So really cool stuff from him. Does anybody watch the combine? Like, does anybody just sit there and watch it? I don't. But yeah, Steeler man, you're right. He will not run. You get a time like that, you just let that be the only stat next to your name. That's right. I think the best 40 so far was a 4.28 from I don't remember who it was. Somebody ran a 4.28, but guys, 4.28, 4.32 is not much behind that. And at his position, I think that might have, at the time he ran, was the fastest or tied for the fastest at his position. Really, really good stuff. Now, Jets coach wasn't even watching. That's hilarious. Sooner fan says, do I watch highlights of it? Yes. Do I watch it at length? No. That's the same with me, Sooner fan. I'm with you. So you got that going on. You got Thunder playing right now against the Denver Nuggets. You know, you softball tonight. They played nobody. So what is there to talk about? Hit a bunch of home runs. You play nobody. It is what it is. There was something I was going to talk about with football. Let me see if I can. I tried to save it on here because I want to talk to it about with you guys tonight. Let me see. Oh, it was. I don't know if anybody saw this. So this George Stoya put this out today, and I wanted to spend some time talking about it tonight. So John, this is what he put out on Twitter. Okay, John Mateer had the second highest offensive production. It was 77% of any Power 4 quarterback in 2025. He also had the highest usage rate, 68.4. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Well, in comparison, let me give you some comparisons, okay? Fernando Mendoza, high production, 70.3%, but a low usage rate, 42.2. You can go back to former OU quarterbacks, had very high production, low usage, such as Baker Mayfield, 86 production percentage, usage rate of only 51.2. Kyler Murray, 88 production percentage, usage rate of 55.7. So I think when you see that with Mateer, high production rate, but the second highest usage rate. So, I mean, that's got to come down. The usage has to come down. Production get better or stay the same or go up. So see what your thoughts on that are. Sooner fan says, I heard on the Morning Animals today that SGA can only miss 4 more games before he's in. I did not know that. Is that true? I mean, he hasn't missed that much, has he, SGA? That's crazy. Yeah, Randy, this is absolutely correct. This is what has to get better next year. And it's not with John Mateer running. This is running game, running backs, running the ball. Now, Corks has an interesting take here. It says, Murray, the best OU quarterback ever. What he did with that trash D, no Andrews, no Rodney. Yeah, I mean, his 88 production percentage, like I just said, is insane. I mean, he could do it with his legs. He could do it with his arm. I personally, not whether anybody wants to admit this or not, I don't know. I'm going to admit it because I don't have a problem admitting that I don't really say I was wrong. Kyler Murray, to me, after following Baker Mayfield, I did not think he would be as accurate as a passer as he was at Oklahoma. I knew he was extremely talented. I knew all that stuff. I didn't know if he would be as accurate. I mean, because Baker, if you remember right, Baker was putting up insane numbers like quarterback rating, completion percentage, and then Kyler just, picked up right where he left off, even better. Yeah, Lincoln Riley's offense, it is convenient and it's kind of geared towards quarterback, but man, it'll be interesting what happens with Kyler Murray in the NFL going forward. Sooner fan says, what's up, Braden? Sooner fan says Kyler Murray would have been the greatest OU quarterback ever if he had played 2 full seasons. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Might have been. I mean, you could argue it, but wish he panned out better in the league than Arizona. Yeah, I do too. I wish he would have ended up somewhere else. And he had some good years. I put up really good numbers. Now, 918 says Kyler to the Dolphins. He likes it. I hope somewhere gets a change of scenery. Is there any chance he goes try to play baseball down the road? I mean, does anybody think that's a possibility? Would he try that? Would he say, I want to try to do it, play 2 sports? I don't know. I do want him to get somewhere else, though. I just think that would be beneficial for his career. I think he should, too. I mean, he was drafted so high. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. Be a whole different route. I think it'd be cool. I'd tune in. I'd definitely tune in to that. So, how you doing, 918? I hope you're doing well. You got the Combine going on. You got OU's Pro Day, March 12th. We already talked a little bit about RSJ. Wow, 4.32. If we talked about Kanak last night, if we were guessing what RSJ would have ran, I would not have said 4.32. I wouldn't have. I might have said 4.4, maybe. I would not have said any lower than that. I would not have said 4 in the 4.3s. And I know he had a really good in high school. He ran good. I know that. I'm just saying, look how well Changes Three turned out for Baker once he got out from under. Yeah, and hey, what about Sam? What about Darnold? Still, man, look at Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield, number 1 pick in the draft. Sam Darnold, number 3 pick in the draft. People thought they were done. And look, they've kind of resurrected their careers. Look at Darnold. Guy just won a freaking Super Bowl. Great stuff from Darnold. He proved me wrong. The guy proved me wrong, period. Okay? Winning a Super Bowl, great for him. So, did Kanak run the 40? 4.53 is what he ran. 4.53. Yeah, that 918, that's another good name. Daniel Jones. That's a good one. Yeah. It's crazy because it's not like these quarterbacks just forget to play out of the position. They just forget how to play the position. That's not the case. A lot of these guys are extremely talented. It's just being in the right spot. I mean, it is kind of different than having a job, but you know, when you're not in the right job and it's not the right fit, sometimes you don't perform very well. Now, Mac, I said I'm going to go back and look. If you picked 4.53, then you'll get a prize. But I'm going to go back and look tonight or in the morning off what everybody said. I want to see how many people said that exact number. Yeah, I kind of thought he would be under 4.5. Okay. But that's still, he was a number one tight end as far as speed, but that's not shocking because of his size. Like, he runs fast. I mean, he's very athletic. I would agree with that, Steeler man. I would agree with you there. Ricky says Kyler to the Steelers. What would Steeler man think about that? Is Rodgers coming back? Well, it says he repaired. Yeah, is Rodgers coming back? Has he announced anything? I don't know. How about this? Let me ask you guys this. You're a GM. You're a GM on an NFL team this year. You tell me which quarterback you would take first. Would it be Mendoza? Is that the guy? Are you sold on Mendoza as your guy if you're the GM? Who would you take? I'd be curious to hear some thoughts on that. Yeah, these are as well. Bryce Young kind of turned it around. Trevor Lawrence. Teams need to start drafting one-year quarterbacks in college. Say Trey Lance, see Mitch Trubisky, Anthony Richardson. Yeah, I mean, Anthony Richardson is so talented, but just couldn't get it all together, man. I mean, he's a talented guy. Yeah, you would think it is a given that Rodgers comes back with McCarthy. I would too. 918. So ideally, OU football next year. Randy does say Mendoza, he would take number one at quarterback. What would you, if as an OU fan watching the games next year, what would you be happy with as far as amount of passes Mateer throws a game? Like, give me a range. Give me like between 5. So, like, would you be happy with 25 to 30 passes a game? Would you be happy with, I mean, what's kind of the ideal number in your opinion that you, I mean, let's say you get a running game going, like, what is the ideal number for that? I would say 25 to 30. I don't know. I mean, do you guys agree with that? You want 30 to 35? I mean, where you at? Pink Floyd, what's up? Boomer. Hey, everyone. 30 to 35, we still have to have a modern offense. Okay, 30. I can get with 30 to 35 still, man. I'm with you there. I'm with you on that. Jeremy, I don't know. He was still kind of sick when I talked to him earlier, so I don't know. No, he might have crashed out on and fell asleep. He might be. I mean, he sounded pretty bad earlier, so hopefully he took the night off and just is asleep. That's what I'm hoping for. Guy needs rest. Now, Corks wants ground and pound 15 to 20. Got JCM here 20 to 25. Heavy run in the big boy SEC won't work. I agree. And air raid won't also. You gotta have balance. I would agree. I'm with lower passes 20 to 25. I would go 25 to 30 or 30 to 35. I mean, I just think you have to have it. There are going to be some games you could do less than that and win, but not the big boys. I don't think. Because here's what happens when you play big boys with a big boy defense. Just ask Brent Venables. You shut down the thing they're really good at. If it's running the ball, they're going to shut it down and make you throw the ball. I mean, that's what good defenses do. That's what they do. They make you one-dimensional. And most teams, I would think, if you're a good running team, would try to stop the run. Definitely want a balanced offense. Well, yeah, I think we all do. You got to limit the turnovers this year. You know, it's year 2 for Ben Arbuckle. That's the thing. Year 2, what can he do this year to make a bigger jump as far as stats-wise and move up the board on offense? Does anybody think Kevin Wilson will have more say in the offense year 2? I don't know. We'll see. 30 passes or less for me, 918 says. I was looking at OU schedule. We all know the front, how heavy it is up front. But when you look at the back, it might be a little more difficult than I first thought. Now, because you got Ole Miss, A&M, Missouri, and Ole Miss with Chambliss coming back. A&M is going to be good. Missouri, I don't know what to think of that team, but it's at Missouri. It's not like it's a killer place to play, but it is a road game. I mean, the last 4 or 5 games for Oklahoma aren't just cake. The South Carolina, I think, was one of the last 5. There's one more I'm missing. I'm trying to think. Florida. I think it's Florida, which I don't know about Florida. Here's the thing. South Carolina, I have no clue what they're going to be this year. Florida, I don't know. It's a first-year coach, but you know what? Maybe a lot better than they were last year under Billy Napier. I don't know. I don't know what to think about Florida. You don't have Lagway. Where are you guys at on Florida? Do you think Florida's a 7 or 8 win team this year? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But where are you at? And we're going to do some SEC predictions down the road here. But Sooner fan says, call me Debbie Downer, but I just don't think we're making the playoff 2026. I think 9-3 at best. Yeah, 9-3. We talked about this, I think, in the offseason last year. 9-3 in the SEC is it's not like it's a bad year. It's just if you want to make the playoffs, we used to all think, or I did. I don't want to put stuff in y'all's mouth. That's not fair to you guys. Sorry. I used to think 9-3 could get you in the playoff in the SEC. But the first 2 years I've watched the SEC, with the schedules the way they are and how some people play these teams, some people play these teams, some people have an easier schedule, some people have a harder one. I just think 10-2, you got to be 10-2 to get in. I don't know if you can get in at 9-3 anymore, since not everybody plays everybody. I just don't think it can happen. Now, Chuck, what's up? I hope you're doing well, Chuck. Good to see you, bud. Says South Carolina will be good this year. Yeah, they should be better than last year. I think Sellers will have a better year. So we'll see. Beamer, I wouldn't think 2 years in a row they're bad. So, but we'll see. It's a rough 4-game stretch, hence why I think we drop one of those 4. Mateer just isn't a championship quarterback, in my opinion, is what Sooner fan says. Playoff has to expand for 9-3 to get you in. I agree. I would agree with that. Better do better than 9-3, or we'll see some recruits go to different schools. Yeah, Chuck, that's the thing. Here we are. We've been talking about 2027 class and how good it's going to be for Oklahoma. Yes, couple things to consider with that. Yes, the offensive or the Oklahoma talent is higher ranked this year. You got some 5-stars in there, so you get good chance of landing those guys, which they have. And then you're coming off a playoff season, which always helps. Winning football games changes everything. It helps recruiting. It helps coaches on the hot seat, obviously, but it just helps everything. It helps the complaining, the negativity. And Chuck is saying, better do better than 9-3, or some recruits go to different. Here's the thing. OU was 10-2 last year. If they go 9-3 or 8-4, you're going the other direction. You want to keep it going forward. And I know 9-3 is not a whole lot different from 10-2, but it means a playoff spot. So it is different. Yeah, what's up? Steeler Man, not a big fan of Beamer. Time to stop Okies from leaving now. No, now we got 5-stars. Yeah, there's going to be 3 5-stars from Oklahoma probably. Was it the guy we talked about the other day? Was it Osborne maybe? But you got the Bigsby O-lineman, Penny, and then Hackett, both 5-star offensive linemen. And then Gabriel Osborne, 5-star probably going to be. So just going to be an impressive class out of Oklahoma. I think that would be the first time in history, maybe, which would be pretty cool. So, yeah, that's right, Chuck says. So I don't know who lives where on here. I don't know who lives in the 918 Tulsa area. I don't know who lives in Oklahoma City area, but a lot of chance to go watch some 5-star talent next year in high school. So that's pretty cool. Best 2 tackles in nation are in state of Oklahoma, Hackett and Penny. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's crazy stuff. And the running back that Nagy and them evaluated real early, Cadron, I'm probably stumbling over his name, but he has jumped way up the board. I think he's now the number 5 running back. That's the thing I do think when you talk about Jim Nagy and his evaluation staff, is that when you have a team like he's put together and it's not the coaches doing all of it, and you got a team dedicated to going finding talent, going trying to evaluate talent, I think there is a better chance you could – yeah, Keldron. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, man. Sorry. Thanks, bud. That's right. Keldon. I think there's a better chance you can get in on guys that may not be as high, but will jump high. And that's the issue with Keldon, is they got in on him before anybody else, which gives you kind of a leg up, because the running back feels like, okay, they're all in on me and nobody else is. That's kind of how you can land some guys, I think, this year to win it all. Randy says, 918 says, 27 to 29 Oklahoma high school prep players are loaded. So OU should be able to land quite a bit of talent. That's true. That's true, 918. Saul Fasusi played 3 state years. Hebron played Louisville every year. There you go. I'm very, very excited to see what Fasusi and Foj in year 2 look like. Having a whole offseason and a year under their belt as playing and getting meaningful, a lot of playing time in the SEC. I think that's going to help them out tremendously. We talk about freshmen, and when you're able to play and star in a big conference like the SEC, how much it helps you. That's why I do have maybe high hopes that the offensive line can make a big jump this year. If they don't, I think there's bigger issues than any of us think. But when you got guys that played a lot in the SEC, and, a lot of things they did well last year were, pass blocking. They got to get better in the running game. So, yeah, I'm excited for the O-line. I'm excited to see Ozida this year, to see what he does coming off the injury. I was very high on him before he got injured, and the year before. I've always liked him. Hopefully he can get it together. Yeah, I don't know the exact rankings on the top 2. Probably depends on what you look at, but they're some of the top tag. 2 of the best. I guess that's a better way to put it. They're 2 of the best in the nation, both 5 stars. So yeah. And I haven't seen Penny play at all, like in person or Hackett. Just got back from baseball. Hope you had a good time, Jen. Great weather out there. What is being talked about? Well, we were talking about RSJ running a 4.32, which is crazy. Really good for him. Hope he can get drafted to a good team. I really do. That'll just be a really good fit for him. I know we haven't really talked about it a lot, but I watched RSJ in high school. That was when I was living in Oklahoma, and he played at my alma mater in high school. And I went pretty much 80% of the games there, watched him play quite a bit. Played wide receiver at Broken Arrow, and played defensive back. He's got some wheels. He definitely does have some wheels. I don't know why. I watched him play in high school. Honestly, I didn't think he was going to run a 4.32. I think Jackson earlier on the Discord was saying, yeah, he ran this. He's expected it. I was not expecting a 4.32. That's really impressive stuff. So whatever happened to predictability, the milkman, the paper boy, even in TV. Is that what you're trying to do, Ricky? Full House, or you got something else to say there? Man, tomorrow's Saturday. Got more softball doubleheader. I believe you got baseball one today over Gonzaga. It's interesting. Gonzaga, frankly, I didn't know they had a baseball team. All I think about when I hear Gonzaga is basketball. That's it. I don't think about any other sport. Now, any news if Moser's getting the axe? I don't know the answer to this. I don't know what Roger Denny's thinking. I don't know. Here's the thing. They might be putting fillers out to see who would be interested in the job, but I don't know what they're going to do. I kind of expect them to make a move, Randy. You've kind of seen what you've seen, but heck if I know. I just don't know when a new guy comes in to be the AD, what his thoughts are. I think when you look at the fans that go to the games, not much support for him. I don't know if that'll hurt him. So who knows? Daniel says, right now, I think OU has the highest probability of having the number 1 recruiting class over the other top programs. I would agree with this, Daniel. I think there are going to be people come up and catch them or really close the gap. Can they be number 1? It might depend on how they finish this year, but man, things are going up and up for that class 2027. Who's the quarterback going to be? I think we all think we know who it's going to be, but like, is that? I mean, who knows? With flips and people decommitting and going other places, who knows what they'll end up with? But I do like their chances of being really, really high. Daniel, I would agree with you. Hey, I'm going to open up the phone lines tonight. I just realized we're 25 minutes in, so I apologize. On here solo, trying to keep up with the comments. Y'all are doing some great comments, so I appreciate it. It helps me out a lot being on there by myself, so thank you. Now, Dalpos, I don't know, a great trivia question. It's not the trivia question. In fact, I would love for somebody to come up with the trivia question tonight, call in and ask it, because I'll have to get one here in a minute if nobody does. But when did they start ranking recruiting classes? What is the answer to that? When did they start ranking recruiting classes? I don't know if I know the year that started. And to answer your question, Dalpos, I don't think they've had the number one class. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to act like I'm right on that, but I don't know. So Porter, worst OU hoop coach, at least back to before John McCloud. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, this will be his fourth year, and they made the tournament once. It's unacceptable. Never had the number one class. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it started, Soonerthron saying it started in the early 2000s. I could believe that. I don't know why I was thinking the 90s, but I could believe 2000s, early 2000s. I was thinking more mid 90s, but like I said, I don't know the answer for sure. Yeah, never had the number one class. That's correct. Yeah, 50. Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy, Soonerthron? I skipped a year. Yeah, 5 years, one tournament. That's unacceptable basketball. I don't care switching conferences. I don't care how good your conference is. I know it's really good when they were in the Big 12, and it's really good in the SEC, but you got to make the tournament, man. That's like a prerequisite, right? You got to make the NCAA tournament. That's what, and when you're at OU, let's be honest, that's what OU fans want. Make the tournament, and I think you'd probably have 80% of the fan base, basketball fan base. If they made the tournament, they'd be happy. It would take for them to make like 5 in a row and not win a game in the tournament for people to start complaining, oh, you can't win again. Because remember, that was Kelvin Sampson's thing. Do you remember that? Y'all remember that? When he was a head coach, they would make the tournament. And it wasn't until that Arizona game, I believe, where they were a 13 seed and Arizona was a 4 seed, and you had to tip in by Ryan Humphrey. I think that was like, it finally got them rolling. But there was a lot of people that said Sampson can't win a tournament game in Oklahoma. I mean, I remember that. So he will now have coached 22 seasons, have only 7 20-win seasons. Yeah, I know. 1999, I think. Oh, yeah, that's correct. Is the year we're talking about. Jay, Chuck says, what happens if BV gets beat by Texas again? Well, there's going to be some upset people as OU fans, Chuck, because 1-4 against Texas doesn't fly with OU fans in football. I mean, that's your arch rival. 1-4, it doesn't fly. Now, you go you lose to Texas and you go 10-2, make playoff. It kind of cuts the sting out a little bit, but there's still going to be people that are very upset with that. But I do think it cuts the steam out, the sting out of it a little bit if you make the playoff bid. Nobody, if you're an OU fan, nobody can stand losing to Texas. We saw what happened to Gary. Gary Gibbs couldn't beat Texas. Looks like we got, we got Daniel on the line. What's up, Daniel? Good to hear from you.
What's up? Yeah, haven't spoken in a while, but you said think of a trivia, so I have a trivia.
Oh, here we go.
All right, so 1984 kind of reestablished OU in the national championship dominance. They won the next year. 1984, they went 9-2 or 9-2-1. This year we went 9-2 or 10-2, 10-3, kind of similar.
Yes.
That was 42 years ago. So with it being 42 years, who wore number 42 on OU's football team for the 2012 season?
42, 2012.
I like to go by when I played.
I think I know the answer, but I'm going to wait and see if somebody gets it in here on the chat. I think I know, but I'm trying to remember if he was 2012. When I see it on there, I'm going to put the answer up and see if I'm right, Daniel.
All right.
But
I'm gonna see if someone you can put the answers, and I'm gonna wait till I see it too.
I mean, I could ask the position. I think I know, but well, let me ask you this, Daniel. I don't want to give it away. I might give it away. There's what I thought it was. Is that right?
Nope, wasn't Rufus. In 2012.
What year was Rufus?
He was gone. He wasn't playing. That's my freshman year.
That's true. We got Fleming from 918.
Nope.
Not Fleming. Wow. Okay. 42, 2012.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not 42. 41. My bad, y'all. 41.
41.
Apologies.
Oh, Daniel tricked us, guys.
41. It aligned, so it's 42, 41. So my bad. So 918, you'll probably get it, but it was 41. It's one off. At least it wasn't crazy.
You got to do what you can to trick 918.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably going to get it. 41. Wow. I still don't know it, Daniel. I'm pretty good with numbers, but I'm trying to picture that year.
It's a tough one. You're going to be surprised if no one gets it, and I tell you.
Yeah, I probably will be. 41. I bet 918 gets it, but who knows? 41.
And I can't see the answers, y'all, because I'm on the.
Okay, when I get someone, I'll put them up, and then you tell me if it's right, because I honestly don't know the answer. I might know it if I see it, maybe. But 41's that's an odd number.
I know it is. It's very odd.
Yes.
Because I was doing some stuff earlier, and I was like, oh, it's close to 42, kind of 41 when they won the last national championship in 1985. So I kind of was trying to put that together. So yeah.
918 says kindly.
Is that a name?
Lindley is what he said.
No, wasn't PL.
Wasn't Lindley. We got Jimmy saying Joe Palange.
No, it wasn't Fingers.
Dalpos. Man, AI is slow today, Mike says. Dalpos wants a hint. 2Dub said striker.
Shoot, if I give a hint, it'll give it away.
2Dub said striker. He never changed his number.
That's right. Strike's first number was 41 in 2012.
Was it really?
It was 41 before he changed to 19. Wow. That's the correct answer.
That is Daniel, that is a really good trivia. I would not. That is good. A little number switch on us, man. That's good. 2Dub6204 with the answer. Way to go, 2Dubs. Oh,
I knew that was pretty because Strike played special teams that year. He didn't really play a lot, and a lot of people don't know that was his original number, and then he changed to 19 because that's what he wore in high school. And obviously, he's my best friend, so I know that. But that's
Why did you? Let me ask you this: why did did you guys have any pre-relationship at all before you went to OU? Like, how did y'all become just good buddies?
So no, we didn't. So we came in. So my two closest teammates were Alex Ross and Strike. So me and Strike, I remember the day we connected. And sorry, I mean, if this is boring to everybody, but I remember we were riding. I think we were at Sterling, and me and Strike were in the back, and me and Strike like old school music. And we were talking about the Temptations and Marvin Gaye and stuff like that, and then. Just we started, and we didn't initially room together. I roomed with Trey Matoir. That's crazy name to bring up, I know. And then Strike was rooming with Gary Simon, and this was in the Bud, and I basically was there all the time. So we all slept in the room together. I slept on the floor. Gary and Strike slept in their beds, and then when Gary got kicked off the team, then I moved in with Strike, and then we've been best friends ever since.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so appreciate you y'all answering that, and yeah. So thank you.
Great trivia, man. Appreciate
You're welcome.
Hey, good to hear from you, Daniel. See you, bud. Great trivia. Stumped me, man. Stumped. Jeremy's not on here, so I don't want to really say what he would have got, but there's no way Jeremy would have got that one either. Even with, I know Jeremy's really good at numbers, but I did not know that Strike had a different number. So great trivia. Yeah, 5-star Trayman Tower. Yeah. Speaking of 5 stars, that's one. So yeah. Thanks for the trivia, Daniel. You saved me tonight. I didn't have one, so good job. Man, he just didn't pan out, did he, Trey? Golly, I think he could have been very good. I don't know. Sometimes you wonder about guys, and yeah, some of it's maybe the evaluations and the star rating or whatever. But oh my gosh, 918, he was so good at Jinx. I didn't understand it either because I watched him at Jinx. That was back when I was living there in Broken Arrow area and stuff. But he was unbelievable back at Jinx. And really at OU just never really, and then like you said, didn't take off at TU either. So man, and I loved his running style. Do you guys see I know I'm not comparing him to this guy. Yeah, he was really good on returns. I'm not comparing this guy, but the way he ran to me always looked like Eric Dickerson. Very straight up runner. I remember that in high school and in at OU and stuff. So yeah, who has 2 dubs? How do you know that? Did he Google it or something? I mean, that's impressive. Trey had a lot of personal issues. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was really good on returns. OU needs it. Golly, they got to have a good year this year. I mean, on kick returns, I do think Satania last year on punt returns gave him something. Yeah, he didn't break like the home run, but he gave him something last year. I thought, he had the 1 muff, I think, total. But even sometimes it was to catch a ball and get, instead of it going 10 yards down the field the other way, he would fair catch or catch it or maybe get 5 yards, but at least the field position was better. So now I think Avant, the transfer running back, will play a role in kick returns. We'll see how much they actually return the ball. So I don't know. Daniel said, I think Alex lost his passion for a bit at OU. We talk about it sometimes. Yeah. Interesting. Now, somebody, 918, you may know, Daniel may know this. I don't know, but how many brothers did he have? I mean, he had a few brothers, I thought, that were coming up the ranks. Was one before him and one after him? I just remember always thinking, oh my gosh, another Ross at Jinx. Trouble, because they were so good. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought there was one that was a linebacker. I don't know. Maybe somebody knows. I know it's off topic a little bit. 918 says, same Jason, but I loved his style and exact same comparison for me. Okay, good. I wasn't the only one thinking that. Yeah, he just ran straight up north to south. An electric speed, man. He had speed. If you remember, it was a 3-headed monster with Keith, Samaje, and Alex. And I think when Samaje took over, he just stopped caring. Okay. Oh, they're cousins. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you. I'm glad you answered that. So they were cousins of his. Alex has all sisters. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, dude, I don't know what he ran. And Daniel, I know you were super fast as well. But what did you guys run? I mean, like, what did Alex run? What did you run as far as timing there when y'all did stuff, like as far as setting your time? I mean, he was super fast. I do remember that. 10-7, Daniel says. Now, yeah, Randy, this is crazy. They're going to play in the Cotton Bowl against South Lake Carroll. Great stuff. And man, okay, Daniel says 4.47 Alex, 4.31 was Daniel. Man, Daniel, you're super fast, man. RSJ runs at 4.32 today, and you're like, at a 4.31, no biggie. Man, that's impressive. Man, what was I going to say? Oh, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Jinx going to play in the Cotton Bowl there. I really like Adam Gaylor. Jinx coach. He used to be a DC at Broken Arrow, went to, I believe, Mustang after that, maybe. Really like him as a head coach at Jinx. I've always liked him. Cool dude. Really good guy. And I think he's a great coach. I think it's really cool that they're going down to play South Lake Carroll. I think it's great. Kind of like what I was talking about the other day on the softball video about how OU softball playing these teams that are just, there's no shot that they could lose to some of these teams. I want better competition. I like high school. To me, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they can handle them Texas boys. That'd be tough competition. To me, especially in high school football, high school basketball, whatever it may be. In high school football, it's not like college. Your non-division district games, they mean absolutely nothing to your season. Nothing. To me, you're better off going and playing the big dogs, seeing where your team's at. Because you could go play whoever, and it doesn't matter. They mean nothing in the grand scheme of things in high school football. Only thing that matters is your district record. That's it. So go play everybody for those 3 weeks. I used to love it when, you'd go play the Union or Jinx if you're not in their district, because all it does is kind of prepare you for it. I would like to see Bigsby versus some of those Texas schools too. Go play it. What are we waiting on, Bigsby? Texas, let's go. Sign me up. Put it on ESPN. Let's go watch. Gibbs was like, Soonerthon says Gibbs was like the Penn State coach, lost to ranked teams too much. Are you talking about Franklin? Yeah, Gibbs did have trouble with that. Randy says Bigsby could, Daniel. As far, yeah, I think Bigsby could hold their own. Chavez, we can disagree on this all you want, okay? And I know Jeremy would probably take your side on this, but I know they're going to have plenty of big dogs on the schedule. That's not my point. My point is not that they're going to have big dogs on their schedule and that their schedule strength at the end of the year is going to be bad. My point is it does nothing for your team to get you ready to play in the SEC. Absolutely nothing, zilch, zero. When you beat a team 32-0, it doesn't do anything for you. I mean, what does it do? We can argue this. I can argue it for the next 20 minutes. I don't care. It doesn't do anything for you. When you can roll a team out there and play every player on your roster and the team can't get you out, you're up 32-0. And by the way, that's a 4-inning game for you. You batted 4 times and you scored 32 runs. Well, what does that do? I mean, you might be better off just practicing. Chavez says it did something for Indiana. I understand. I see what you're saying. I am not by any means saying the OU softball is not any good. I'm not saying they can't win the national championship, Chavez. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think it does anything for you. I honestly, I don't know. We could argue this, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it did anything for Indiana, except kept them healthy. It's different, though. Football and softball is a totally different sport. It's way different. It's hard to kind of compare the two. It does build confidence. I get that. But Kirsten Deal tonight went out and pitched against Alabama State. She pitched 1 inning and allowed 2 runs. I mean, it's not going to build any confidence. So I don't know. And as a fan, the last thing, I mean, maybe it's different for softball. I don't know. The last thing I want to do is go watch. Maybe you do want to go watch OU hit 8 home runs and win 32-0 in softball. I don't know. Maybe that's what people made. I know they're made. Listen, I know they're made years in advance, but listen, hey, I can make a schedule. I don't have a calculator. I can make a schedule 7 years from now. You know what? Alabama State's not going to be good in softball, Chavez. Sam Houston is not going to be as good as Oklahoma in softball 7 years down the road. What I'm saying is, could you not schedule a Big 12 team, Houston? Could you not schedule Northwestern? I mean, a Power 4 team? I don't know. I don't even know if Northwestern has a softball team, okay? I'm just saying, now, Aaron says he doesn't want to watch batting practice. Let's get off this topic, though. Well, Nebraska is. Do you want me to read you Nebraska's schedule? Let me read you Nebraska's schedule real quick, okay? Nebraska softball schedule. You ready for it? Here we go, Chavez. and this is just one team, I get it, but Nebraska, well, they played Oklahoma State the other day. Washington, they're pretty good. Texas, 2-game series with Texas already. And then they played UTSA, which UTSA, I'd rather OU play UTSA. Another game with Washington. Then LSU, SEC, Georgia, SEC, Tennessee, SEC, UCF, Big 12, Texas Tech, Big 12, South Carolina, SEC, Texas A&M, SEC, Cal. So yeah. Oh, and then they play Oklahoma State again coming up, or just the other day. Yeah, they did lose OSU, but what I'm saying is they play really. Their schedule's tough. I know you can't always do it. And we can switch topics, okay? So anyway, thanks, Dylan, man. Appreciate it. I'm going to go a bit longer tonight. I don't know. I'm having fun, so we'll keep this going. When does Deion Burke? Does anybody know when the wide receivers run? Is that tomorrow? You had tight ends today. You had safeties. I'm very intrigued to see what Deion Burke's going to run. And Teresa, I totally get that. I totally get you here. And I know that's part of the issue. I really do. I know part of the issue is teams don't want to play Oklahoma. They don't want to drive to Oklahoma and get destroyed. I get that. And I'm not sitting here saying it's all OU's fault. I'm just saying I would think you could get some better teams than some of the ones they're playing. I mean, for instance, this is I agree. But like, I would have liked to have seen Oklahoma go to Clearwater and play in that tournament. I know you're going to play those teams later on, so I get it. It's a little different in the SEC, but I just think for your opening homestand of the new season, I would have liked to have seen somebody other than Sam Houston and Alabama State for 5 games. Okay. And nothing against those teams. You know, Alabama State, I'll give it up to them. They got beat 32-0. They turn around tonight and get beat 23-3. And after the game, they're having a dance party at the pitcher's mound with OU. I mean, it was like, so I mean, those teams are probably looking at, let's see if we can get better and learn from it. Ricky says, Jay, I like it better when you go solo. No offense to Jerem. Wow, I'm clipping this. I'm going to show Jeremy this, Ricky. Wow, thanks. Appreciate it. It's better with him on here, though. Let's not lie. I like it when he's on here. RSJ was floating today. The dude was, wow, he was quick. And put them cleats up. You are not running that pro day, I don't think, RSJ. Take that. Like they say, go on, take the money and run. I think that's what RSJ needs to do right there. How much do you think something like that really what does that do for his draft stock? I mean, there are so many things that go into it. He might be watching, and if he is, I say, Jerem, go to sleep. You need to get better. Go to sleep. Feel better. We all want Jeremy back on here, but he needs to be healthy, feeling better. So hopefully he's resting. Would anybody find out when wide receivers run? Is that tomorrow? I hope it is. Moves him to second or third round. Okay. Wow. You think he could move up that high to second? I don't know. I mean, that's high, but you know what? I'll say this about RSJ. I've always liked RSJ, like I have, because I watched him in high school, but the guys that stick it out, and, he came there right when the transition was happening with BV, and he stayed the whole time. Kudos to him, man. He stuck it out when through Billy Bowman staying around another year. And, I really can't appreciate guys like that. And, it's not going to happen all the time. You're going to have guys transfer. And I'm not by any means saying I'm against transfers. I'm just saying when guys like that stick it around and you see their career get better and better, and they get better and better, and then they go to the NFL draft and they get drafted. I mean, that's cool stuff to me. That's cool stuff to me. Just seems like a freaking legit dude. And he is it. He runs the camps. Him and I may be wrong on this. If I am, I'm sorry. I apologize. But I think RSJ and Marion Horn, who went to Texas Tech out of high school at Broken Arrow. I don't know where he ended up, if he's still there or if maybe it was Baylor. I'm trying to remember. But they run a camp in Broken Arrow every offseason, or they did, for kids and stuff. So I thought that was always kind of cool. And he says, I think so. Fast safety is rare. Can't coach speed. Okay, tomorrow at noon for wide receivers. Thanks, 918. Appreciate you. Scott says 183 home runs on the season. You heard it here first. Oh, I think they're gonna break the home run record. There's no doubt about it. I think they will. And they hit 10 today on the 2 games. I mean, they're going to average 5 a game the next 3 games because of who they play, I think. So I don't know what that'll put them at, but 30 reps on bench for Dominique Williams. Thanks, Chavez, for the update. Yeah, super happy for SJ. 918 says, I think it separates him from the pot of the back and puts him in the 4th round coming from the 5th or 6th. To me, that is a big jump. 4th round's a big jump. So week from tomorrow, I'm going to Fayetteville to see my daughter go on an Arkansas baseball game week from Sunday. That's awesome. Have you made it out to a game yet, Sooner-thron? Whoa, man, the baseball stadium is legit. I mean, it's like top of the line, man. I mean, it's so cool. The baseball stadium is in Fayetteville. So that's pretty cool. Who do they play that game? Do you remember who they play? Well, Randy, here's the problem. You pitch around, or you're putting somebody on base for another player that can really just either hit a bomb or just another really good batter. So I don't know if it does a whole lot to Walker. The one I'm excited about is Tia Malloy. She had 2 home runs in the second game tonight. I about need to watch. She needs to be about in an everyday life, my opinion. I think she needs to start playing more than she's not playing. I mean, she needs to play. I think if you give her a week or 2 solid of playing time, I mean, I think she swings about really well, good defensively. Where are y'all at on Dominique Williams' draft status? 2 guys I want to ask you about in the chat. Dominique Williams and Marvin Jones Jr. Where do you got them going? Dominique Williams and Marvin Jones Jr. One of my favorite OU player draft videos was Brian Asamoah. They were excited. Oh, man. Asamoah, man, you talk about a guy that made the most of his opportunity, man. He did. Stetson, nobody. Yeah, playing Stetson. Kind of like OU softball. I guess baseball does it too, right? That's just kind of the way it works, I guess. So, yeah, I remember that. And, it feels like he wasn't at OU very long. I mean, what did he end up playing? 2 total years for Oklahoma? I mean, as far as playing time, and then boom, he was gone. And hey, he's had a nice NFL career so far. OU had 6 homers against Arkansas in the SEC tournament. That was without Wells, AP and Lexi. Yeah. Oh, they're going to put up a lot of runs, Teresa, no doubt about it. I mean, the only question I have really with OU softball is the pitching. I just need to see against better teams and see them be more locked down. But that's got to be against good teams. You can't really tell against these teams they're playing. Dominique Williams probably a 4th round guy. MJ probably 6th. Okay, I could probably see that. 918. I could probably see that. See what they do in the. Now we got Sooner-thron saying Marvin Jones is 5th. Okay, close. 5th to 6th. Dalpo says flip flop that. Okay, but I don't know. 3rd round for Williams and 4th or 5th for Jones Jr. from Chavez. So there you go. Yeah. Hey, we already did trivia, but I forgot to mention before trivia. Hey, 918, go check them out at Sugar 66. They're in Tulsa, Mother Road Market, place you can go pick out different restaurants to eat at. He's got a location there with freeze-dried candy, sweets, and also in Catoosa. You can check him out there as well. But go check 918 out. Sugar66. Might be able to even order online, but 918's a great dude. Support him when you can. Support small local businesses and growing businesses. That's what 918's business is doing. So, and Daniel, once again, bud, thanks so much for the trivia. I really do. I like it when you guys come up with the trivia. Maybe we should start doing that more often, where a caller calls in with the trivia question of the night. I like it because I would have never came up with that question. And that's the thing when you come, I mean, you all kind of have different opinions, and maybe something that as a trip would be a good trivia, something I'm not even thinking about. So yeah, Kanak 453. I'm going to go back, Chavez, and watch last night's live, see who picked 453, and then we'll have a prize. If there's 2 or 3 of you that pick the same one, we'll have to do a drawing for the prize. But I'll go rewatch that tonight early in the morning and kind of see who landed on 453. I know this for a fact. I did not land on 453. So I thought he'd be higher than that. Actually, I thought he was going to be in the 4.4s. So did Williams do much for OU? I think he did. Yes, Daniel, he was the fastest tight end. I have not seen a second run. If somebody has seen a second run, please update me. I'm hoping he even goes faster the second run, but we're going to go with the highest run as far as the question from last night. He was the fastest tight end up to when I was watching. I thought Williams was a solid too, Jimmy. I mean, a lot of times people want the defensive lineman to make all the tackle. Maybe they don't show up. They don't show up that way, but in the stat book. But what he did was he did his role. He did his job. He took on 2 blockers sometimes. And I also think he was probably overshadowed a little bit because of Jaden Jackson's busted onto the scenes as a true freshman. I mean, when Dominic Williams came to Oklahoma, I mean, I don't think anybody people thought Stone was going to be really good. I don't think anybody thought Jaden Jackson would be as good as what he did in year 1. And then he backed it up again last year. But this is correct, Jimmy, 100%. Very good against the run. He is not a guy that's going to go in there and just going to be a sack beast and against the pass. But, man, if you wanted to plug up the middle, which in the NFL, go look. It's littered. The NFL is littered with guys that play in the middle that are dominant in the middle. And I think he can be really good in the NFL and have a long career. Great run stopper like Jackson. Hey, I was too, Teresa. I did not expect a 4.32 at all. Did not expect it. Vince Warfolk wasn't known as a tackler. He was a disruptor. Yes, I would agree, Chavez, with you. Hey, we can agree. Look at this, Chavez. I agree. It's not going to show up in the stats, but it absolutely will on tape. It will. It will show up on tape. And that's the most important thing. I do think, the combine is extremely important. And for some teams, it's probably more important than others. Maybe they put a little more emphasis on it. But, man, to me, what you watch on a film and see them in an actual game atmosphere against SEC opponents, that means a lot more. If I were a GM, but you can't, I know people like the tape, people like the measurables. But do you guys remember the quarterback? Played for Dallas Cowboys. I hope I don't draw a blank on this. Had really good measurables, but he went and played baseball first. I want to say Drew Hutchinson. Guys, I may be totally wrong on that name. Wore number 7 at Dallas. Big, strong quarterback, strong arm. I think it was Drew Hutchinson. Went and played baseball first. Dallas got him after that. You talk about measurables, man. He had him. He had arm strength. He had the size. Drew Henson. Okay, I said Hutchinson, but that's correct. I think Chavez, Drew Henson. Man, he had all of it. You go back and look at guys that think, Chavez, Drew Henson, appreciate it. You go back and look at Jamarcus Russell at LSU. I mean, all the talent in the world. Chad Hutchinson. Okay, which one am I missing here? Who's the guy that went and played baseball? Wore number 7 at Dallas. Chad Hutchinson, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm getting them mixed up now. For some reason, I was thinking Hutchinson. Dalpo says, more important to you, tape or measurables? Both. Can I answer both? If I had to say one more important, tape would be more important for me if it's against quality opponents. Oh, they both played baseball. Did they both play for Dallas? Man. Both of them had really good size, really good arms. Hey, it's like they're the same person, even though they're not. But there's guys like that. There's guys out there that just are extremely talented and just can't get it all worked out. And then you got guys that are maybe not as talented that have the intangibles and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I look at a guy like Owen Heineke, y'all, that you don't have the most talent in the world, but you know what you're going to get from him, and it's impressive stuff. And where's he going to fall? I don't know. I mean, I saw Mel Kiper's couple quotes from Mel Kiper the other day. He likes him. Man, I think I used to in high school. Funny thing. So there was 2 jobs that I thought would be my most favorite jobs and kind of my dream jobs. And these were my dream roles. Okay. And you guys see if you can relate to this at all. Maybe you guys have what is your dream job? Let me find out. Ask it in the chat. But there were 2 things that when I was in junior high and high school that I thought, if I could do that when I graduate, I'd be extremely happy. It'd be the best thing on earth. One of them was to be a sports radio talk show host. Now, not good enough to do that. Couldn't go down that path. But now that I get to do this as a hobby, it kind of fills that role. And that's why me and Jeremy do it. It's kind of like a hobby. We always wanted to be like sports radio host, even if it was like an overnight radio. I don't know if y'all listen. I used to grow up listening to Arnie Spaniard overnight. I mean, literally, I would stay up during his show for 2 or 3 hours and listen to him overnight. Arnie Spaniard, loved his show at night. Also, I don't know if anybody remembers JT the Brick. I might be aging myself, and maybe none of you guys have ever heard of these guys. But JT the Brick, I used this before you had YouTube and everything. But JT the Brick, his show was great at night. So that's one thing that I wanted so bad to be when I grew up. The other one was I wanted to be Mel Kiper. I wanted to be the guy that watched football tape all day long and then went to the draft and all that stuff. That's what I wanted to be, except I didn't have the hair that Mel Kiper had. But I thought that was cool, what he does. And he would be on ESPN. You wouldn't see him for a while. And then every time around the draft, there he is. Mel Kiper Jr., baby. I thought that would be cool too. Now, Daniel Brooks says NFL, LOL. The doctor then changed to pharmaceutical, which is what I'm in now. Cool, Daniel. That's cool, man. I'm currently doing my dream, retired. Mac, way to go. That means you worked your whole life. It's well-deserved, man. Well-deserved, Mac. Enjoy retirement. Soonerthon, listen to both? Yes, let's go. We got a JT the Brick and an Arnie Spaniard listeners. Love it. Love it, Soonerthon. Those were, man, I love those days. I would put that on my radio, had a radio right by on my nightstand, put it on a little dial there. Those were the days, man. And you'd always want to hear what they had to say after some big event happened. You know what I mean? And then you'd have callers call in, kind of like we do on here sometimes. It's just cool getting people's opinions and stuff. But I've kind of went off topic. Anyways, I apologize. Hey, check out the Fan Stop, thefanstop.com. You can get great looking merchandise there. You can get shirts, Shirt of the Month Club. Sign up, use code SURGE. You get 10% off your first 3 months. You also got these hats. These are awesome. In fact, I'm going to wear this for the rest of the show tonight. A little bit of this. You can get that on the Fan Stop too. Check them out. Great people, great products. Thefanstop.com. Now, 918 says he used to do mock drafts. So, yeah, I agree, Jason. It would be a fun gig. Yep, that's right. It would be awesome. Retired is great, Teresa says. She agrees. I do wish I had went into football coaching at any level. It seems like fun. Here's the thing. Dalpost, I used to think that too, and I think it would be fun. But I think there is so much stress on coaches. I was stressed coaching 3rd and 4th grade flag football. I mean, this is no joke. If any of you all have ever coached, you know what I'm getting ready to say, and you know what I'm talking about. I would coach my son, and I would wake up on Saturday mornings nervous as all get out. Like, I mean, just pacing. My wife would be like, man, you nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. I'd pace around. Am I going to call the right defenses today? For flag football, which was my favorite thing to coach, am I going to call the right plays? I had a massive playbook for 3rd and 4th grade flag football. You should see it. I mean, I still have it. It was massive. Too many plays probably for 3rd and 4th grade, but I was always in my head, am I going to call the right things? I could not imagine coaching at a higher level than 3rd and 4th grade flag football. Coaching at a high school level these days would be very hard. Coaching at college, NFL, the stress would be so much, I would think. Now, Chris, former Scholastic America show on ESPN. There we go. Daniel says, I never wanted to coach because of the lifestyle. Everyone always asked me why I didn't. Yeah, a lot of players sometimes will go into coaching. Daniel was asked about it. He said, never wanted to coach, the lifestyle. Didn't want the lifestyle. So yeah, there you go. Oh, man. Hey, I just realized looking at the clock there, I did not know we've been an hour and 6 minutes. Went a little bit long tonight, but appreciate you all in the chat keeping it going. It's been fun. Enjoyed talking with you tonight, as always. Really do. Good stuff. We'll see what happens tomorrow at the Combine. See what Dion Burks runs tomorrow. We'll see what Jaren Kanak's second run time is. But Daniel, thanks again for the trivia. Really, really do appreciate it. And the cool story about how you and Strike kind of got to know each other. That was cool. Appreciate everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow night. We'll see if Jeremy's on tomorrow night. If he is, awesome. If he's not, I'll be here 9:30 tomorrow night. We'll see everybody then. Hey, have a great Saturday. Talk to you soon. Boomer. Thanks, Dalpos.